Acecraft, published by Monton and developed by Vista Studio, lifts players into the floating world of Claudia. The premise is simple but effective. You are an ace pilot from the Ark of Hope, fighting against the Nightmare Legion. Villains such as Queen Lovra and the Timekeeper seek to unravel the world's destiny by destroying the Winding Keys, and it is your task to stop them. The narrative is not expansive, but it frames each chapter like an episodic cartoon. Dialogue pops up mid-fight, banter between allies and enemies adds flavor, and the world feels just silly enough to keep the action lighthearted. It is closer to a Saturday morning cartoon than an epic drama, and it is exactly what keeps the pacing sharp. The game's most striking element is its visual style. Acecraft uses hand-drawn rubber hose animation inspired by the 1930s cartoons, the same aesthetic that once defined classics of the golden age of American animation. Characters bounce, stretch, and emote with exaggerated flair, giving every pilot and enemy a sense of personality. Enemies range from balloon animals and angry birds to living clocks and oddities that would not look out of place in a vintage reel. Each land of Claudia has its own distinct theme, from the pastel skies of Sweetopia to the gloomy hues of Ghost Swamp. The sound design reinforces this. The soundtrack leans on jazzy, big band energy, perfectly suited for the slapstick chaos on screen. Explosions pop with comic exaggeration, and even simple projectiles make cartoon-style boinks and whooshes. It all comes together to make Acecraft feel more like an interactive animated short than a standard mobile shooter. Legendary animator John Pomeroy, best known for his work on Tom and Jerry, even praised the way the game gives its pilots personality, showing the care put into this direction from the very beginning of development. Beneath the whimsical surface lies a solid bullet hell roguelite. Your aircraft fires automatically, and you drag your finger to dodge the incoming fire. The clever twist is that when you release your finger, the pilot absorbs nearby pink projectiles, restoring them to unleash a counterattack. This mechanic forces you to think in rhythm, weaving between shots while pausing just as long enough to absorb, then firing those same bullets back at your enemies. It is a small touch, but it changes the flow of every encounter and gives each run its own sense of tension. Progression within a run comes from upgrades. After waves of enemies, you can select from randomized attachments, perhaps fireworks that automatically track foes, a Tesla cannon that zaps enemies, or an upgraded main cannon that doubles your firepower. Stock enough compatible upgrades and they evolve into even stronger forms, like turning fireworks into full rocket barrages. No two runs feel the same, and experimenting with different builds becomes part of the fun. Bosses demand precision, forcing you to dodge elaborate attack patterns while using counters at the right moment. Each one feels like a set piece, testing your reflexes and your ability to improvise. Another layer of variety comes from the roster of pilots. At launch, Acecraft offered 8 distinct characters, each with their own designs and abilities. They are not just skins, their powers shape how you play. You can also bring a secondary pilot as a backup, so when one is shut down, the other takes over, effectively giving you a second chance. The most headline-grabbing addition at launch was the collaboration with Tom and Jerry. Both characters are playable, fully integrated into Acecraft's roster rather than treated as gimmicks. Tom thrives in mob control, using dynamite drops, dumbbell throws, and his trash blast ultimate that scatters debris across the battlefield. Jerry shines in boss fights, hurling cream pies and summoning 6 massive light bulbs that crash down to deal devastating damage while clearing the screen. What makes this pairing even smarter is that they complement each other. If you use one as your main pilot, you can still borrow a toned-down version of the other's signature move as a support skill. This collaboration is not just nostalgic. It is functional, fun, and seamlessly woven into the cartoon world Montoon is building with Acecraft. Outside of individual runs, Acecraft leans on the progression systems common to mobile games. You will unlock equipment, invest in a talent tree for permanent upgrades, and gather resources from daily challenges, events, and idle rewards. Some of these systems rely on gacha mechanics, especially when it comes to unlocking rare pilots or upgrading their skills. Launch events, including the Tom and Jerry Festival, offered a generous rewards for early players, considering daily play and participation. While these systems extend the game's lifespan, they can also feel grindy. Unlocking and upgrading pilots requires a lot of resources, and some players may feel nudged towards spending to accelerate progress. That said, the core gameplay loop of fly, fight, fail, and return stronger remains intact. And for players who enjoy gradual improvement, it adds a sense of long-term investment. Acecraft performs impressively well for a visually dense mobile shooter. In the thick of bullet storms, frame rates hold steady on low-end devices, and the hand-drawn animation keeps it crispness. The interface is busy, with many menus for events, gear, and pilots. But during gameplay, the focus remains entirely on dodging and shooting. Crucially, there are no force ads mid-run. Any ads you see are optional, offering extra bonuses or rewards. For a free-to-play mobile game, that restraint is refreshing. Acecraft is a refreshing surprise from Monton. It doesn't reinvent the bullet hell genre, but it injects it with a rare sense of style and personality. The hand-drawn art, jazz-infused soundtrack, and playful villains make every run feel like a living cartoon. The roguelike mechanics ensures variety, and the absorb and counter system adds a clever layer of strategy to the familiar dodge-and-shoot formula. The mobile progression systems and gacha elements may frustrate players looking for a more straightforward arcade experience. But for those who can look past the grind, Acecraft offers a world that is bursting with charm. The Tom and Jerry collaboration is not only a nostalgic treat, but also a reminder of how well this game integrates playful ideas into meaningful gameplay.